Are you looking to settle your workers' compensation case, but you want to know how much of this check am I going to actually be able to take home with me? Well, stay tuned. I'm about to go over all of the deductions that they possibly might take from your check and a bonus too that they will not. So you're looking to settle your case and you want to know how much exactly of this check am I going to get for me? Every settlement that you have an attorney will have attorney fees taken out of it. Now, the industry rate in California is 15%, 1-5. And the way that works is it's just a separate check that's automatically taken out. You don't have to worry about paying your attorney directly. It'll be paid directly by the insurance company. Number 2, permanent disability advances, PDAs. Now, a PDA is taken out at the point that you have reached permanent and stationary, but your doctor still says you cannot go back to work. At that point, you start getting permanent disability advances so that you are not destitute, because your temporary disability benefits will end at the time you're permanent and stationary. At the time that your case settles, any of those advances that have been paid to you will be credited back at that time. So number 3, temporary disability overpayment. Temporary disability benefits in bulk are not something that you normally pay back. But what I'm talking about is instances where there has been an overpayment to you. You got money that you really should never have gotten. That usually happens in a few instances. One, when you have a doctor telling you you're permanent and stationary, but the time that he tells you you're permanent and stationary and the time that his report actually issues, there's a delay. Maybe there's a month delay, a week delay, 2 weeks, whatever it is, and you're receiving temporary disability in the meantime. So when we do get that final report, the defense is going to go, oh no, we paid you 1, 3, 4 checks that you never should have gotten. So we're going to need to have that money credited back at settlement. The other way is if the amount they had paid you was wrong. Let's say they have paid you one rate, but they really should have been paying you much less. And so now they said, oops, we should have not paid that, but we did, so we want this credit. Temporary disability benefits, overpayments, those are the kind that sometimes we can negotiate depending on the strength of our case or depending on who's at fault. Number 4, EDD liens. So an EDD lien, just like temporary disability, normally you would not have to pay that back if it's a regular amount. But there are instances where they do need to have money paid back by you. And that's usually going to be if you were double dipping. That is, if you had started EDD benefits and then at some point your case gets accepted and you start TTD, but there's an overlap period. Maybe a week was overlap, 2 weeks, whatever it is. And that overlap, you cannot have 2 benefits at the same time. So at the time of settlement, EDD might ask you for that money back. The other way is at the time you've already finished your temporary disability benefits and you have applied for EDD at that point, but you're now receiving permanent disability advances. And that's also considered a way of double dipping. And so sometimes they will ask for some of that money back. It wouldn't be the whole EDD check, but the part that was for permanent disability advances. And the way to avoid that is simply to let EDD know that you're getting permanent disability advances. And that way they will reduce the amount they're paying you so that you don't have to worry about paying them back later. 5th one is DCSS. So if you have a child support lien that you have outstanding arrears and you have a lien filed on your case. If that's the case, then what happens is you must pay that out of your settlement before you get paid yourself. So let's say that you owe $5,000 in back child support and they file a lien for $5,000. What happens is you have to actually pay that out of your settlement. If your settlement is $50,000, then you're going to just have that whole $5,000 come out. So here's a page 6 of a compromise and release, which does show the itemized breakdown of your settlement. In this example, we have $15,000 settlement and the attorney fees are the only thing taken out, which is $2,250, which is 15% of $15,000. Which leaves a balance of $12,750. So this particular applicant would take a check of $12,750. Next, I want to show you an extreme example of a very unfortunate applicant. This is a worst case scenario where everything is taken out at the same time. This is the same $15,000 settlement. However, this particular applicant had more things going on. They took a permanent disability advance out of $2,320, so about 2 months, an $800 TTD overpayment, and EDD overpayment of $1,600 On top of that, they have child support arrears of $2,000, which there is a lien for, and they have attorney fees of 15%, which is $2,250. When all of that is deducted from their $15,000, they are only left with $6,030. That is less than half, and it is a very unusual case. Usually, you do not have this many deductions. There are occasionally you have one or other of these deductions, but normally that's not the case. One of the things I'm not discussing right now is Medicare Set-Aside, which is a little bit more complicated. That can also come out itemized in the page 6. However, those checks would also be sent to you, so that's why I'm not discussing it at this time. Bonus tips. Things that will not be taken out of your settlement checks. That's going to be your medical treatment. So any kind of liens that you have from doctors, anything like that will not be taken out of your settlement. Instead, the defense has to pay for it. As you see on page 6, they do have language in there on most all settlement documents, and if you don't see it in yours, make sure that it is in there somewhere, saying that the defense is responsible for paying the liens of records. The second thing that will not be taken out of your settlement is taxes. Settlement for workers' compensation in California is not taxable, so it is not considered taxable income. You do not declare it on your taxes. If you like this video, press like. And if you would like to see other videos about the workers' compensation process, things to do and mistakes to avoid, press subscribe and hit the notification bell. As always, this is all general information. If you need information specific to your case, go ahead and give us a call or text us consult, and we'll be very happy to discuss your case with you. Thank you.